All right. I just joined on the line, so audio should be kicking in. We got a couple questions about is the audio working, so that should be kicking in for everybody now. Welcome, welcome. We have sales professionals from all over the globe. Just so you know, my name isn't on there. Let me add that in. My name is Rick Middlemass. We also have John Oliver on the call, representing the National Association of Sales Professionals. And am I on the right audio here?
Yep, we hear you.
John, can you hear me?
Rick. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. And Sue is joining as well. Awesome. It's all coming together. So let's address what's going on today. And let me change the slide here. So today we are talking about sales success in uncertain times. And I think we can all agree, I'm looking at the attendees on the line here. We have sales professionals from all over the world, all experiencing, the whole globe is experiencing possibly the most uncertainty that we have experienced in recent history. And yet we're still here, we're still selling. At NASP, we're selling, and we're selling virtually. And what today is all about is how do we adjust in uncertain times? Not only has the situation changed for us, but it has also changed for our clients and prospects. And one of the key phrases, the key things that we talk about at the National Association of Sales Professionals is that people buy for emotional reasons and justify with logic. So when all external circumstance has changed, this impacts us on an emotional level in a huge way. So what does that mean for us as sales professionals and influencers in terms of how we can meet the emotional needs of our clients and prospects? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we've got about 10-ish minutes before Rod Hairston joins. This is the pre-event, if you will. And so my name is Rick Middlemass, the Chief Strategy Officer with the National Association of Sales Professionals. And we have John Oliver, the VP of Partnerships. Say what's up to the world.
Yeah, what's up? This is a great time, Rick, and we're looking at sales, and sales is one of those things right now that I think people are uncertain about, right? Because in this time of uncertainty, there's so much going on, and people are like, do I continue to talk to my prospects, or how do I reach out to them, or what can I do? And honestly, it should go on as business as usual because people are home. They're more approachable right now, right? They have the time. You might be able to get and book a lot more meetings with them. You might be able to get them on the phone and honestly just talk to them like regular people, right? Communicate with them, having the belief in your company, your product, and yourself. And then, really empathizing because we're all going through this, right? Oftentimes, a lot of people are now working from home that don't usually. People, again, are a little bit more, open to communicating about things. And one of the things that you've realized here at NASP that we've always taught is how to connect with people, right? On a physical and emotional and intellectual level. We're not just robots here. We're not selling the old antiquated sales techniques of the hard sell, right? The stereotypes of the used car salesman where they were just hard closing. You guys have been through, and many of you have been through our CPSP, our certified salesperson, if not our certified sales leader certification. So you understand there's a much more emotion that goes into us. There's unconscious behavioral patterns, as well as you've created probably a vision with us. Maybe you're with us in our sales mastery program. If not, please reach out. We'll talk to you more about that as well. But this is now, we're supporting this. And what we're seeing, and to be honest, Rick, this month for us at NASP probably has been one of the better months because we have the ability to reach more people, right? And so
it's been busy.
It's very busy. And one of the things is that you realize is right now is a great time. It's a great time to understand that we're all going through something in these times of uncertainty, which Rod will speak on. And it's a great time to really come together, create some synergies, right? And really build this up and move you in a positive place. So it shouldn't be time to take your foot off the gas. It actually should be time to put it on.
Yes, very well said. Now more than ever, everything is moving virtually. So let's jump into before Rod gets on the call, we're going to do a quick overview of how you can take maximum advantage of your membership with the National Association of Sales Professionals. So we'll have Rod Hairston joining in about, let's see, we're at 6 minutes, so about 8 or 9 minutes. And up until then, okay, so here's what we're going to talk through today. Quick agenda. We're going to hear from Rod Hairston, the CEO of the National Association of Sales Professionals. The billionaire whisperer is his nickname. And then we're going to jump into some sales mastery Q&A after that and talk about some promo bundles that we have available. So again, Rod is about to jump on in about 7 minutes and talk about sales strategies and how to have sales success in these massively uncertain times, and really how to meet people's emotional needs during this time, because people need differently now in a time of uncertainty what they needed in, you know, all-time market highs and everything is looking wonderful. So let's jump real quick into your membership of the National Association of Sales Professionals. So if you're on this webinar, unless you were sent the link and maybe referred into this webinar, which welcome, then you are a member of the National Association of Sales Professionals under our complimentary membership. So if you have not yet, I highly recommend you take advantage of our seller style assessment. This is a complimentary assessment where you can take 20 minutes out of your day and go through the assessment, fill out the questions and answers, and get a very detailed coaching feedback report of what your current selling style is and what your ideal selling style is, and start to find that gap. And also, once you've taken the seller style assessment, you get access to a complimentary live coaching feedback call where we go through the reports that are generated for you and really look at where can you improve your influence, where can you build your internal motivation, and where can you build your external focus, and how can you serve your client more effectively. And we all know people buy for emotional reasons and justify with logic, but very few of us really, it's hard to comprehend, okay, I get it, but what does it mean to sell to people emotionally? And that's what we start to break down in this feedback call. Also, you have access to our daily sales success program. This is a complimentary daily program that if you log into NASP.com and go to your profile page, and actually let me drop that link in the chat here just while we're talking about it, you can opt in to joining our daily sales success program. And many of you on this call as well are going to be CPSP or CPSL certified. And once you are certified, you have the opportunity to join into our premium mastermind program. Some of you may have read Napoleon Hill's Think or Grow Rich. You are the result of who you spend time with. This is our elite mastermind coaching program led by Rod Hairston, where he is the CEO of NASP, and he supports with daily live calls, not weekly live, sorry, I wish they were live calls, but weekly live calls as we go through the weekly sales mastery modules. And also drop any questions in the chat as they come up. And also we have Suhei Franco on the call. Welcome, Suhei. Suhei is, Suhei, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I joined this amazing team about a month and a half ago as the director of Synergy, and it's just been such a beautiful transition, like looking at what we're experiencing on a worldwide level and having these conversations with these guys and the whole team. It's like how, I can't help but be really opportunistic and really look at the beautiful room where there is opportunities to grow new markets and to reach new people, and to use this as a chance to really redesign the processes. And so this is all super amazing information. Thank you so much, Rick, for organizing this. And I cannot wait to have Rod join us in just a few minutes to continue learning and expanding. So yeah, like you said, John, a minute ago, is how do we continue to make these synergies, and having these conversations and sharing this information is exactly how that's made. So thank you for opening up the space.
Absolutely. Thank you, Suhei. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on the team. Oh, and Kate, so before Rod hops on, Katie asked a question. I work in hospitality at a conference center, and our facility is closed until May. We have been directed to not prospect out of respect to our clients. What are your thoughts? Wow, that is a fantastic question. And so we'll direct this at Rod. Just some initial thoughts are, so the first thing we have to do is define prospect, right? So you've been directed to not prospect. Does that also mean that you can't support your existing contacts through this time? Does that mean you can't reach out, or it's maybe we don't want to reach out with a sell, right? So that's one thing to kind of look at is, I don't want to reach out and sell, but what information could be helpful to my clients? Can I do some homework on looking at the current situation with the coronavirus? And is there any information that could be helpful? I've had people reach out to me and share with me some of the, because the stimulus package just went through, and share with me, this is in the United States, some of the things that are being offered to people in the United States because of this stimulus program. In your country, are there any resources or anything people can take advantage of to help people through this time? So my thought is, I completely respect and have empathy for don't prospect is the direction you've been given, and I would ask, does that mean don't reach out to sell? Maybe it does. And are there opportunities you have to reach out and support without focusing on selling? So great question, Katie. And we'll of course have Rod Hairston answer this question as well, just to offer some initial thoughts.
Yeah, Rick, I'd love to add an insight on that real quick. This is so for you, Katie, your client, put yourself in your client's shoes. Would you like to have someone reach out to you authentically, right? And just to ask, how are you? What's going on? Is there anything I can do to help? Right? You're not prospecting them. You're not trying to sell them. You're just keeping communication. You're keeping rapport. And in all sales is rapport, which leads to a great reputation, which leads to amazing referrals. So I, as a customer, would love if you reached out to me just for a couple minutes and you said, hey, Katie, how are you? How's it going? Just was thinking of you. You have no expectations whatsoever. You're just reaching out authentically because you care. And these are people that you have relationships with. And I guarantee that will be well received, as well as whoever your higher ups or management. They'll never look at it as you're not prospecting, because you're not trying to sell them anything. You're just trying to keep the communication and keep the reputation or rapport that you already have with them.
Very well said, John. One of the things, a few people have reached out to me, and so there's kind of reach out and sell, reach out and support. And then there's also reach out and ask, how are you doing? How is your current experience right now? And help me understand what you're going through so I can potentially look to provide resources to my client list. We know hotels are closed right now for the most part, so we're not open, but what during this time where we've got extra time can we do to support our connections and contacts? So I love to reach out to people and say, how are you doing through this situation? What kind of things are going on in your world? Has there been anything that you found during this time of uncertainty that has been helpful to you? I would love to learn about that so that I can share with other people who may be in the same situation as you. And Rod just joined, so let's bring him onto the panelists. And here we go. Rod, are you hearing us?
I'm here.
All right, welcome, sir. And you're coming through on audio. Do you have the visual as well?
Absolutely, I see it. It's beautiful.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, sir. Take it away.
Just throw me right in. So guys, I'm here to talk about selling in uncertain times, right? And how to do that appropriately. And what I mean by appropriately is we have to be careful as salespeople. We have these amazingly positive minds a lot of times, and we like to turn lemons into lemonade. And so we can actually look at this and think, oh, this is a great opportunity, which it is. It is a great opportunity. And we want to be very careful about leading with that, right? We want to be careful. Let's think about creating a win-win and being really aware and sensitive to the situation for other people, okay? So the first thing I want you to think about is, what do we always provide? If you think about this, guys, the selling process is people buy for emotional reasons and they justify with logic. So if I buy for emotional reasons, the emotion I'm feeling right now, whether I consciously want to or not, is uncertainty, okay? And as a sales professional, my job is not to create more uncertainty for you, right? Think about that. You think about that. The fear that people is feeling, because remember, fear is very ambiguous. It can mean a lot of things. It can mean terror, it can mean anger, it can mean uncertainty, though, is the greatest fear of them all, because you don't know what's happening. You're not in control of what's going on. You know, you're looking at all these numbers and you're thinking about what are all of the things I can't control in this situation. My people are home, or, you know, my family goes out, or my kids aren't listening to this and they're, you know, old enough to do what they want. And they're all of these things going through your mind. That's uncertainty. And that's it's very troubling for the nervous system. This is my opportunity, no matter what I'm selling, to make sure that in my presence, I'm providing a level of confidence and certainty that they need, which means I have to put that on. So my interpersonal communication, that means me communicating with me. I really want to put on this belief, this certainty, this confidence to let them know things are going to be okay, or we're going to only do the best that we can do. That's our job first and foremost. And what is another word for confidence? Certainty, which is the opposite of uncertainty. I need to provide the emotion first, not try to sell them to the emotion. Even if I'm selling something that directly impacts them during this process, that could actually help them, I got to remember the product can't deliver the emotion. My body, my intent, my energy has to. The meaning, how I sell it, the value, the information I give, all of that comes from me, and that's what generates the emotional power. So I want all of you to be intentional around creating that level of confidence and certainty, just to make sure that it doesn't come off as arrogant or almost where you're not being sensitive to the situation. Throw in, number two, some compassion. And the way you have compassion is always imagine what this person can be going through, even if they got a smile on their face or they're looking strong. Have compassion. Recognize that it's somebody that they care about. And ask yourself this question. A lot of times going out now, you know, we're super busy doing all of these calls for these organizations that their people are at home. And we have so many leaders that we're launching our engagement programs and other things to maximize people at home. And I know this is very valuable, but I'm not going to go to the leader and be like, hey, I got you covered, man. This is going to help you get the most out of your people. No. Have compassion for the situation, right? Ask yourself questions, you know, around the fear in the people that's at home, the uncertainty that's home. What can I do for them? What might they be feeling? How might they be feeling for their families right now? And how can I support that? How can I be more than just the deliverer of a product or a service? This is an opportunity to do so. You leverage everything, how I ask my questions, how I show up, really being sensitive to match and mirror what their body language is saying, to align with where they are, right? Ask questions about their family, ask questions about their health, to remember to be compassionate, right? Not get right into the value or I'm going to be your savior. Be compassionate first. So that's number two. Number three is remember, this is the perfect time to be valuable to other people and not think about your profits, right? The system is set up to where, okay, selling is, I sell, it's a transaction, right? I sell and you pay for it and there's an exchange, right? There's an equal exchange, or what we want to be an equal exchange. Well, and in this case, really focus more on the value that we're offering. There's some beautiful companies doing that right now, right? They're really focusing on value. Even if you can't discount your prices, you can be more valuable. You can speak to the value. You can make people appreciate what you're bringing to the table by talking about what's in it for them. When they come out of this, how this is going to be, right? The value really needs to be communicated in a very, very powerful way. And all of the energy needs to be there, but only after confidence and only after the compassion piece. You know how to sell. So developing different skills or what to say, in my opinion, is more insignificant to your intentions around selling, how you show up, where your body is 55%, your physiology is 55% communication with other people. Your intent is 38%. That only leaves 7% for the words that you're saying. So make sure that that 38% and that 55% is like leading with a lot of love, a lot of value, a lot of compassion, a lot of warmth, a lot of confidence, right? A lot of curiosity to who they are and who they're going to be, right? A lot of future pacing. When we get out of this, this is how I want to support you. So, and be intelligent while you're going through it. Create your own little sort of, your own little saying, so to speak, that you say to all of your customers around being healthy, being strong, being intelligent, being smart. And then the last one, guys, I want to leave you with today is challenge them. And this is going to sound, it sounds almost like the antithesis of what I talked about before, but challenge them to make the best out of this situation because they can't control it. Challenge them to, in a situation like this, who knows what's going to happen? All I can do is do the best that I can for me. I can be healthier. I can challenge myself to grow, challenge myself to step up, challenge myself to take care of my family, to mature. This is an opportunity. Again, from this experience, I'm going to come out better or worse. There's no neutrality. While I'm sitting at home, I'm going to gain weight and create some negative associations to my significant other, or to, mess up the house, or to become more depressed or down or sad. I'm going to become happy. I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to become, I got this in my belt. I lived through this. And regardless to whatever happened, I lived through this experience and made it through and came out better on the other side. It's not the other side yet, but that's my vision. So challenge people to think about who they want to be after this, who they want to be when it's said and done. No guarantees in it. It's not foolhardy. It's the only thing we can do, because I can't control the virus. I can control me. I can control where I go, what I do, how I think. That's all. I can influence some people around me. Hey, stay at home, right? Stay at home, right? Or not, don't come around me. I can influence. But man, you got to challenge everybody to do the same. Challenge them to create a compelling future, who they're going to be when they come out of this, how they're going to be able to step up and take it to that next level. Those are my steps to you. That's to my lovely sales professionals out there continuing to do work and continuing to make yourself better. These are 4 steps that can support you. Guys, thank you. I'll turn it back over to Rick and look for questions or comments.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rod. Thank you very much. So everyone who is attending right now, feel free to post questions in the chat. We've got a few different things that we're going to cover over the course of the rest of the webinar. We would love to see questions come in. What are you currently struggling with? What does your situation look like? And then we're also going to go into how NASP can support you. So just want to make sure that I have the steps right here. So we have, first of all, certainty. Uncertainty is the greatest fear that our clients and prospects are facing. So what is most important for us to provide for our clients and prospects is that certainty, that internal confidence. Number 2, compassion, empathy, understanding where people are currently at, what their current situation is, and speaking to that. Addressing a little bit the question that came in at the early part of the webinar there. Future pacing. At some point, we are going to come out of this. What does that look like? Let's start thinking about that now, again, with compassion, with great compassion to what's currently happening in the world. And number 4, a challenge that let's be the certainty that the world needs right now and support those around us. So fantastic. I love it. Very well said, Rod. So as we wait for any questions or comments to come in, we're going to jump back into talking about how the National Association of Sales Professionals can support you right now. Oh, and there is a question. Hold on one second while I pull up the chat feature. So we have a couple of questions. This is Bertie Allen from Mercedes-Benz. How can we, in a moment that individuals don't want to walk into our dealership, but we still want them to buy our products. How can we, so essentially, maybe how can we bring people into the dealership, and how can we open conversations? And Rod, just to fill you in also on another question that came in from Katie. Katie works in the hospitality conference center, and her facility is closed until May. She's been directed not to prospect out of respect for her clients, and she was wondering what our thoughts. And just to let you know, we shared initially with her, reaching out to prospect and sell may not be the best idea right now. However, reaching out with compassion, asking for what has been helpful so far during this situation, and what maybe she can share with her other clients, was kind of maybe a good approach. Rod, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So remember, it's all around intent. So my job is to prepare for when this is over by what I do right now. So if I reach out to my prospects and let them know I'm thinking about them, I care about you, we here right now, we're here for you. And again, whether we're selling you anything or not, we care. And I think that kind of speaks to the brand as well. So just leaving a note, not, again, appreciating that this person can be by themselves, they can be in a home by themselves, they can have self-isolation going on, or they might have to be away from their families, just to call out, just checking in. So yes, you can still prospect, but prospect for the long term from a compassionate place and staying there. And people will remember that, I promise you. And use these steps, really talk to it, really, again, call with confidence, have compassion, ask questions, let them know this is just a note to say hello and that you care. Mercedes really wants to support you. And whether you're buying our cars or not, or you don't have to say that part, just let them know it's a courtesy call from a loving organization, right? Follow it and challenge them to come out of this better than they went into it. So develop your own little 2-minute love strategy and go out there and reach out to people.
I love it. I love it. And Dave Smason said emotional intelligence is the key, and it's a very new subject that many books have been written about, and it's very next level. Dave, certainly agree with you there, and it's kind of really the forefront of modern science and psychology, and therefore selling. So we're just going to jump in real quick to talk about the resources at the National Association of Sales Professionals that we have for you right now. And that is this. If you're on this webinar, and we touched on this a little bit before Rod joined the call, is if you're on this webinar, you most likely have a complimentary membership of the National Association of Sales Professionals, unless someone referred you over, in which case, go and join and get your complimentary membership. And as a part of this complimentary membership, we are offering a complimentary free seller style assessment. This is about a 15 or 20-minute assessment where you can go in and invest some of your time to generate a coaching feedback report that is going to give you your current seller style, your ideal seller style, and some coaching as to where you can reach your next level as an influencer and in sales. And we are, as a part of what's going on right now, offering a complimentary live feedback call with either me, John, or Michelle, or some of our other sales professionals on how you can use that feedback coaching report to put it right into action now and reach out to your clients and prospects in the most intelligent way for the current situation. And also, as an additional value add, we're offering, again, complimentary, a daily sales success program that you can opt into at this link that I'm going to put in the chat right now. Oh, annotation technology challenges. And here we go. And then also what I'm going to jump into talking about is our certification, which many of you on the call have already taken, as well as our Sales Mastery Mastermind community. And we've put together some very special bundles for this webinar today. So I just pasted in the link that you can go to opt into our complimentary daily success program. And also you'll see the button to take the complimentary seller style assessment. So now I'm going to jump into some of the special bundles that we've created for this time to support people through an initial 45-day program, which is the certification program, if you've not already gone through that, and an ongoing 12-month mastery support program. So let's take a quick look at the, so generally the certification is $595 for the professional salesperson certification and $695 for the professional sales leader certification and $99 a month for the sales mastery program. Abdul Karim, how are you? You said hi. What area of the world are you tuning in from today? All right. So for today's bundle, what we are up, and drop any questions in the chat as they come up. For today's bundle, what we are offering. So again, complimentary seller style assessment, complimentary daily sales success program. And if you are looking to invest in the certification and mastery bundle, we have been able to combine the 45-day professional sales or professional sales leadership certification with 12 months of sales mastery for $997. So this is a bundle that's going to support you throughout the next 13 and a half months. And also, if you have already gone through the certification program, we have a 12-month mastery bundle for $797. So a significant discount, a $786 discount and $391 discount. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go through some of the details of the certification program and of the sales mastery program for those who are interested. Before I jump into that, Rod, are there any final comments you'd like to add before I go into some of the descriptions of the programs that we're offering?
No, I want you guys to know at every level of NASP, this is your home, this is your community. And everything that we talked about today, we want to make sure that we offer you. So this is our attempt to develop and transfer confidence to you, to the people all over the world that get the opportunity to go out and keep their companies alive. We want to make sure we offer compassion to you by giving you content that's going to support you in coming out of this in a really powerful way. We want to make sure that we offer value to you. Everything that we bring to you is so much more valuable than you'll ever imagine, because it's about developing you, helping you grow and go to the next level. It's a self-investment in you during some of the toughest times, really finding out who you are. And I know you guys are great. And remember, we walk around with 100 billion brain cells and the most amazing nervous system. So we're greater. And the last thing is we want to challenge you to step up, challenge you right now to go out and lead. We are the leaders, guys. We step into uncertainty every single day. And now it's our chance to show up and be that for the world. But again, we have to do it. And I want you to experience it first. And that's where that great fulfillment comes from. So I challenge all of you to invest in you. Take your game to the next level and recognize this too shall pass. And when it does, who are we going to be? Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy and stay away from people for just a little bit, right? Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Rod. And just to reiterate what Rod said there, we as sales professionals are responsible for the revenue coming into our companies. We're responsible for really the paying of the salaries of everyone who in our companies is delivering our product or service. Now is the time for us to save our companies and step up and support everyone within our companies by still maintaining some level of revenue generation to keep things moving. All right. Abdul Karim calling in from Saudi Arabia, working with Splunk. Very cool. Pleasure to have you on the webinar today.
Rick, I add one thing to this, buddy. You know, what I love here is that Rick put this together as a chief strategy officer. And what he said is that, look, in these times of uncertainty, some people haven't been through these programs, haven't gone through these certifications, which if you have, please feel free to comment. They're absolutely amazing. We get inundated with testimonials every day, every week of how different this was, how much that they received from this, the value in it. But what Rick really wanted to do here was, we came together and said, how can we give them so much more support? How can we do this for such a discount for them right now? Or even just a great deal to help you get in, to understand that this certification in itself is a 10x value, right? The mastery is a 100x value. So realizing that you have the ability to then go right in and make an impact. If learning one or two things that get you to connect with a client that leads to the deal, think about that. Right now it's an interesting time where everyone is in this technology and we're all remote. So it's a perfect opportunity to take advantage of this, increase your education, increase your certification, increase your knowledge, right? And really work on who you are. So you come out on the other side of this so much farther ahead than anyone else.
Well said, well said. And in order to be the most effective sales professionals we can be, we need to enter onto the path to mastery. And what that means is it is imperative that we condition our unconscious minds to consistently communicate from the principles of influence and generate win-win situations with our prospects and clients. So now we're going to go through a quick training on by taking responsibility and being a leader in this time of uncertainty, how can I do that? How can I support the people around me who are experiencing massive external uncertainty? How can I support them? So just during this time, we put together a couple of quick visuals to help you think through this. So right now is the time to focus on my circle of control, what I can control, and to allow that to have influence on my circle of influence. So any guesses on what might be within my circle of control? Feel free to put them in the chat. What can I absolutely control? You got to be quick on the chat before I give the answer out here. Activity. David says activity. Yep. Shwanda, your own actions. 100%. Your circle of control, number of dials, your actions. Yes. Pasha, your mind. Keep moving forward. 100%. In your circle of control is everything that's internal to you. Your circle of influence that we don't control other people. We have influence over other people to find win-win situations, but what we can control is our own actions. And the certification in sales mastery is an opportunity to go through a conditioning system for your unconscious mind to build your internal certainty. And again, what did Rod say? The most important thing to give to people right now in a time of complete uncertainty is your internal certainty. Harshal, circle of control. We can control our own emotions. We control what we do, our actions that lead to our emotions, 100%. So what is within our circle of control? What can we condition into our unconscious competence? And again, we condition into our unconscious by at least, they say 21 days to make a new habit. The newer studies show closer to 45 days. Some studies even show 66 days of conscious conditioning to build habits into my unconscious mind. So what are the key things? Now, Harshal said we can control our own emotions to a degree. What are the three components of controlling our own emotions? It is this. It is, what is my current focus? What is my self-talk at this moment? And what is my physical expression? Because we know our current physical expression impacts the endorphins that are released in our brain that create for us the emotional state. It is a combination of how we're physically holding our body, what we're telling ourselves, what is on the record player of our self-talk, and what are we focusing on? Are we focusing on how can we help people, or what else could go wrong right now? Those are two vastly different emotional states we can put ourselves into. Those three components combine to create our emotional state, exactly what Harshal said, and thus creating our attitude. So what do we focus on in our programs? And actually first, what can we focus on right now to take responsibility to do the best that we can do in this time of complete external uncertainty. What we can take responsibility for is investing in our unconscious mind, investing in our mental and emotional muscle during this time of complete uncertainty to best support and provide for our prospects and clients, therefore creating our power to influence. So also, for those of you who are interested in taking advantage of the bundles that I put on the screen, I pasted the links. We've pasted the links into the chat, so you can go ahead and check out those bundles, the certification and the mastery bundle. And what I'm going to go into now is what we do throughout the certification and sales mastery program that makes it so effective. And one of the things that Rod Hairston has worked out from his 30 years of coaching multiple business owners to billionaire status. Remember, most entrepreneurs and successful business owners started out as sales professionals just like yourself. We are the team that moves businesses forwards, right? Because sales creates revenue. Revenue creates businesses. So here's what we're going to jump into. How do you do this? This is the cycle of performance. And this is the model that you must understand to gain full control over the full power of your mind, meaning not just your conscious mind, but your unconscious mind as well. And this is the underlying model of the CPSP, the Certified Professional Salesperson, the CPSL, the Certified Professional Sales Leader, and Sales Mastery. This is the process that we go through in the certification. We take people through these 4 steps. I'm going to outline them. And just so you guys know who are watching the webinar, the rest of the webinar, what we're going to go through, we've got about 18 minutes left. We're going to go through some of the underlying models of the certification programs and of the sales mastery programs so that you can know what to expect. And again, if you have not yet, go and take the seller style assessment, take advantage of the complimentary feedback call, and also join our daily sales success program. Those 2 things are going to guide you through this time of uncertainty and help you be the best sales professional, leader, and influencer during this time, and be able to build up the most internal certainty or confidence so that you can serve your clients, prospects, family, friends in this time of uncertainty. So to jump back into the cycle of performance, the cycle of performance defines how we can program and influence our unconscious mind. We start out in inception. In the CPSP and the CPSL, the 45-day daily conditioning programs, week 1 is about creating my visions. As a sales professional, I focus on mindset, influence, strategy, and performance. As a sales leader, I focus on communication, team building, internally motivated and externally focused leadership, and of course, performance. In week 1, we create our visions. We give the cybernetic system that is our unconscious mind its destination by creating these visions. And that puts us into a state of inception, where we can see our next level of being an influencer and being a leader. We can see ourselves at that identity level because we're giving ourselves that target. However, we are still in a state of unconscious incompetence, simply meaning we don't know what we don't know when it comes to what habits we need to have in place in our unconscious competence to be at that level of influencer and leader. So what the certification program is designed to do, and what you will go through over and over in sales mastery, is to go right into a state of deception. Well, not right into. This happens on week 2, week 3 of the 6-week certification program. And this is the dip. This is where, if you think about any new habit we try to take on, at first it's exciting, but as Rod would say, Miss Emotion only sticks around for a little while. And then she goes, and then it doesn't feel good anymore to continue with that new habit. Going to the gym, being a very consistent sales professional, and hitting my 10, 20, 50, 100 calls per day, whatever your numbers are for your industry. Deception is where it no longer feels good and you become consciously incompetent. This is where it becomes more obvious of the gap between where you're at right now and the identity that you're moving towards. The most powerful aspect of our certification program and the most powerful aspect of any successful influencer is their ability to move through deception, move through the time that it's not fun, it feels a bit uncomfortable, and I wish it was easier, right? So our certification program is designed to day by day, baby step me through that deception period into transformation, into conscious competence, where I'm starting to build some of the habits of communication in alignment with the principles of influence into my unconscious competence, so I no longer have to really focus on them so much, and they're a part of who I am, and now I can truly put all my focus, empathy, and compassion onto my prospects' clients, or if I'm a sales leader, the sales professionals who I'm leading, and creating an environment for them to thrive like they have never thrived before. This is the underlying model of the certification programs. And then, of course, to bring me through transformation into identity where I am an unconsciously competent influencer. It is built into my unconscious mind, and now I can now focus on my clients, prospects, and sales professionals at a level that I never have done before. David said, in other words, it becomes your DNA. I think there's actually some research behind that may be a fact, but I'm not qualified to talk about that, so I'll save that until I've read those books and those medical research reports to speak on that. But well said, David. I like where your head is at. So this is what the certification program is. Not only are we giving you information intellectually, the 7 steps to influence, and the framing, posturing, how to build your presentations. Not only are we giving you all of the intellectual information inside the program, we're also certifying a behavioral competency. And what that really means is we're certifying your ability to go through the cycle of performance and build new competencies into your unconscious mind. And then how does sales mastery now play into this? And not everyone is able to do this, right? That's why not everyone is able to get into sales mastery, because it is difficult to maintain consistency for 45 consecutive days. But that is how you condition your unconscious mind to new levels of success and influence and serving your clients and prospects that you have yet maybe to even hit your next level. So let's jump into how this translates to sales mastery. You see this visual right here? This is the path to mastery. This is when we start stacking the cycle of performance month after month. This is where we vision every month on a new aspect of influence of who we are as sales professionals and influencers, whether it's my mindset, my strategy, relationships, performance, wellness, or influence, or simply put, our influence. And we can take a look actually at the 6 steps, the 6 themes right here. So each month in sales mastery, we focus on a different theme: mindset, wellness, influence, strategy, relationships, or performance. And actually, I meant to do this earlier. Let me put in a meeting link here so that you can book a time with either John or I or Michelle, one of our sales professionals, to discuss any of questions that you have or any aspects of the programs live. And actually, so I just put that in the chat. Actually, John, can you just double check that that's the correct link? Make sure that goes through to the right landing page. I just put that in off the top of my head. So to finish up here, in Mastery, every month we go through a new cycle of performance. End result being we are optimally building our internal certainty. It all comes back to internal certainty. We're building our visions, internal visions at a higher level, and we're conditioning them into our unconscious mind. So we have more certainty, congruency, and confidence to deliver to our client. And again, now in this time of complete external uncertainty is the best time to invest in your internal certainty, congruency, values, and vision. So that is the core part of what I wanted to go through today. Any other questions or comments? Or we have a couple of questions that came in. In fact, I think I have to come out of here. Yes. Brad shared a question. Okay, let me jump into the, and actually, I'm just gonna review the bundles for one last time before I jump into some of these questions. So the CPSP is a 45-day program, and the CPSL. This is the initial cycle of performance that we go through at NASP. Oops. And this is the 45-day conditioning aspect that I referenced, the certification. 45 days. This leads into the 12-month conditioning system of sales mastery. So just to review the bundle one more time, because I did have a comment that I didn't spend very much time going through the details there, which is accurate. I did not spend very much time. So I'm going to go through the details of the bundle opportunities. Then I'm going to answer a few additional questions that came in, and then we're going to be out of time for this webinar today. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate your willingness to invest in yourself during this time. 12 months of sales mastery, $99 per month. That's a $1,188 investment for 12 straight months of weekly live coaching from Rod Hairston, as well as a weekly module and advising calls with myself, John, and Michelle, including the CPSP or CPSL certifications, which are $595 and $695 respectively. This comes out to $1,783. We're offering almost a 50% savings here to get you down to a $1,000 investment to support you throughout the next 13 and a half months. If you've already become certified, instead of paying the $1,188 for $99 a month, 12 months of mastery, we're offering an also significant discount to get down to a 12-month bundle at $797. And we've pasted both of those links in the chat there. So I'm going to leave that up while I go through these questions. So Brad Halperin, how do we as sales professionals shorten the sales cycle for companies in our pipeline that are putting their software audits on hold? Meaning the prospect is interested, we've done our demos and received feedback that we are either the preferred solution or still being considered, but the decision is being delayed due to Corona. So great question. And so none of us have gone through Corona before, right? So we're in uncharted territory. However, when this has happened in the past, and I've been on both sides of this, for example, I came up selling Cisco systems. Most of you will be familiar with them. They're 1 and 2 in switching and routing. You know, Cisco is one of the backbones of the internet, if you will. In a situation where I propose a Cisco solution, say it's a $250,000 solution, and 2 other vendors have proposed a very similar solution. Maybe one was $240,000, the other was $260,000. The client has now had three. Especially, I'm going to step back for a second to address another point of this question. What Brad is really asking here is, what is the emotional impetus for somebody to take action? People buy for emotional reasons and justify with logic. What is the core frustration? What's the core pain? What is the core emotion that led to my client even taking a meeting with me, let alone giving me the opportunity to propose the opportunity to solve their challenge? What is that emotional frustration that the buyer or the buying team is experiencing? And what this means is, what is that water cooler talk? What is that emotionally loaded conversation, the ultimate frustration that led the buying team to say, we need to make this purchase now? That is how we shorten the sales cycle, and that is how we move more quickly to a close, is by finding the true emotional why behind the decision. And we have to remember, this is generally 3 to 4 whys deep. Why did you bring me in today? Logical answer. Okay, that's great. Well, why is this important for you to take care of now? Okay, second logical answer. Okay, that's great. And why now? What's the frustration that is really causing this problem to be solved now as opposed to 6 months from now or something like that? Third why question. This is where we start to get closer and closer to the emotion. The more why questions we ask, the closer and closer we get to the emotional reason to buy now. And by being able to pull the emotional reason out and then represent it back, this is the trigger for action. Now, specifically to Brad's question, they're being delayed due to the coronavirus. So we need to work out, is this why affected, is coronavirus changing the situation that this why is no longer a reality, or is it not? If it is, then, you know, I'm not going to make the sale now, right? We all need to get through this corona situation. I can offer confidence and certainty to my clients during this time. The sale may not go through. If it is still relevant, though, if that emotional buying reason, that problem that they're experiencing is still relevant, we can still provide the value to our clients and prospects. So we need to get down to what's the emotional impetus, and we need to state that back to the client to help them understand that now is the time to solve the problem. One whole other aspect of this is, if I'm one of three options, I need to meet the emotional needs during the sales process. We've only got 4 minutes left. I'll go into this on another webinar because that's a whole explanation in itself. But meeting the emotional needs during the buying process is what sets us apart as sales professionals. So we are going to, I wasn't even expecting this to go to full hour, but awesome webinar today. We obviously have more questions coming in. Paisha, how long does the special pricing last? We will commit to holding the special pricing through this corona situation. We're not going to take it away until we're past this uncertainty that we're experiencing in the world today. Any other questions or comments? And
Rick,
John, you're about to jump in.
It looks like there's a lot of questions, which is great. I think that there's a lot of value here. So if you guys want, feel free to let us know, and we'll continue to do some webinars. We'd love to support you. You're part of our association. As Rod said, your family, right? If you've reached out and had conversations with me or Rick or any of us here, you realize it's not just a number. It's not just another salesperson. So if this is valuable, we'd love to continue doing this, as well as the bundle. I know that that's come up how long. Again, we'll be here for you. Reach out. We can work with you on it. We'd love to get you involved with the community. However we can help you through this, we know that this is invaluable information. And as you see, we have, we had almost 100 people participating on this webinar alone on a Monday. And so how can we help you in the future, and what else can we do to support you? We are here for you. So please let us know.
Very well said. Yeah, I would love to be able to get to all these questions, but it is, and Dave, you did ask, do we ask about their job security? Don't ask about their job security. Ask how they're doing and what has been helpful for them in the last couple of weeks since we've been in this situation, so that you can support other clients that you have in a similar situation. Ask them how they're feeling and what's been helpful so far. Don't ask about job security. Oh, thanks, Dave. You're going to share with colleagues. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate that.
Please, guys, one of the things we'll do is support you too is the mastery. If we can get together like this and ask, these are the questions that come up in our mastery, in our sales mastery. So I know that if it's something we can do to offer to have you kind of boyer in for a little bit of time, check it out. We'd love to do that for you as well. Take advantage of the bundles if you can here. But whatever we can do, you love the webinars. Thanks, Dave. Let us know.
And book a time with John and I at this link. So we are very generous with our time given the current situation right now. Book a time with us, talk to us. We'll support you through what's going on. We'll let you know about our free complimentary resources. We'll let you know about the certification in sales mastery and how to get in that mastermind community, benefit from this high-level group think, and be influenced by some of the top sales professionals in the world right now in sales mastery. That is the link to book a call with us. We're out of time right now. I don't have a time and date for the next webinar yet, but you'll definitely get an email about it. This one was a bit of a surprise. Rod wanted to talk to the community today and get this message out. That's why we set this up a bit last minute. The recording will be available. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This has been a fantastic experience. I loved hearing from Rod. I loved hearing the input from sales professionals all around the world. We're all doing the same thing right now. We're selling, and we're keeping things moving virtually in a time of uncertainty so that our companies can stay alive. We are the resource for our companies to keep them moving. We've got to keep bringing in some level of revenue, supporting our clients and prospects in a way that makes sense for the situation, and being there for people who are in a time of great uncertainty. Suhey, anything you'd like to add there? I saw you come up.
I was just going to say, guys, these guys, I've been working with them for a couple months now, and they're super knowledgeable. There's so much awesome information there, and I can't wait for everyone to take a deep dive into this opportunity and look at it as such. So thank you guys for joining. Thanks guys for all of this amazing information, and yeah, we'll continue to make amazing magic happen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Suhei. Thank you, John. We appreciate everyone for being on today. We're going to wrap now. We look forward to future webinars and speaking with you more. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday. Happy selling all week. Let's be the energy behind keeping things moving and keeping our businesses alive and helping people thrive during this time. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon.
Bye.